Welcome to Assist College of Arts and Commerce. This is Assist Edupedia. Myself, Assistant Professor Sunil Shah. Today I would be discussing about the concluding part of the earlier video, that is called Classification of the Companies Part 2. The subject's name is Corporate and Securities Law, which is there in SYBBI, and the same subject and the same topic is there with the different subject name, that is called Business Law in SYBAF and SYBCom. As I discussed in my earlier slides, the companies have been classified into three major categories, that is called statutory companies, chartered companies, and registered companies. Chartered companies example which are given is the Great Eastern India Company as well as the Bank of England. Under the statutory companies, I discussed about those companies which are been formed by the Parliament or Vidhan Sabha or Vidhan Parishad. The example which I discussed with you is our LICs or the RBI Act or the State Transport. Registered companies, I had discussed about the companies which are been formed by the Act of Parliament or those companies which are been formed as per the Companies Act 2013. Registered companies, the different types of registered companies are as follows: private companies section 2 subsection 68, public companies section 2 subsection 71, producer companies section 581b, company with the charitable object section 8, one person company section 2 subsection 62, companies limited by shares section 2 subsection 22, companies limited by guarantee section 2 subsection 21, associate companies section 2 subsection 46, holding and subsidiary company, that is section 2 subsection 46, small company under section 2 subsection 85, dormant company under the section 455, government companies under the section 2 subsection 45, foreign companies under section 2 subsection 42, investment companies under section 186, and unlimited companies under section 2 subsection 92. Now would be explaining about associate companies, which has been defined under Companies Act 2013. An associate company is a firm which is owned in a part by a parent company entity. Unlike subsidiary company, the parent company will own only a minority or non-controlling stake, which is also known as associate companies. That means the parent company will stake only 15% or 20%, unlike a subsidiary company. So that is an associate company. An associate company in relation with another company means a company in which that other company has a significant influence, but which is not a subsidiary. A company that a company having such an influence and includes a joint venture company also. The examples of the associate companies of Tata's are Tata Consultancy Services, Titan, Tata Motors, and the Vistara, which is under the airline category. Under the Reliance, we have Reliance Infrastructure is an associate company which is registered under ROC. The different subsidiaries of Reliance are Reliance Trans, Reliance Digital, Viacom 18, and the Jio also. There is a borderline of classification between the associate companies and the holding and the subsidiary companies. As I told you in my earlier slide, that associate companies has a minority stake, whereas in case of holding company, it has significant stake. A holding company is a type of financial organization that owns the controlling interest in other companies, which are called as subsidiaries of that particular company. The parent corporation can control the subsidiaries' policies and oversees the management decisions, but does not run day-to-day operations. A subsidiary company is a business that is owned either partially or completely by another company. The company is referred to as a parent company. The examples of the subsidiary companies of Disney are Disney Consumer Products, Disney Marvel, and then we have something like Disney Studio, Disney Interactive Session, and the ESPN Sports Channel. If you go to the HDFC has different subsidiary companies. One of them is HDFC Bank, HDFC General Insurance, HDFC Life Insurance Corporation. HDFC has also started its asset management company, and HDFC Sales is also one of the subsidiaries of HDFC. Regarding the dormant companies, this particular the definition has been given under Companies Act 2013, which is defined under section 455 of the Act. The meaning of dormant company means an inactive or inoperative company. The basic idea of the dormant company is for the benefit of the company to start a future project or hold an asset or intellectual property without having significant accounting transaction. Say suppose if one of the companies starts with the manufacturing of any medicine, and he starts applying to the IPR for patents or designing or for trademark. then they will take the trademark or the patent of that particular product, and after few years they will declare the company as dormant, so that they will have that intellectual property rights. Some point of time the ROC will also declare this particular company is dormant because none of the business activities are going on. So there are two ways: either the himself, the director, will declare that particular company is dormant, or the other way around, the ROC will declare this particular company is an dormant company, because there is no sales, no transactions are going on, but the company is in existence. A dormant company is an excellent opportunity to start a company for future project, because they like to hold the patents, designs, or the trademark in their name. For intellectual property without having significant accounting standards. Suppose if the company is paying rent, that means there is a transaction going on, that means it may not be declared as a dormant company. But if the company is not doing any type of sales, no operations are going on, then they will declare as a dormant company. On the other hand, if the company has not filed its annual return for 2 consecutive years, then such a company will be called as dormant companies by ROC. The examples is Bharat Digital, who has been declared as a dormant company, including Ancore, which is uploaded into the Ministry of the Corporate Affairs website. The government companies are those companies who are holding at least 51% of the paid up share capitals, either by the central government or the state government, or partially by the central or partially by the state government. The well-known government companies are BHEL, the Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, or the Coal India Limited. The Coal India Limited has the business operation of taking out the coal from the coal mines, as well as the Indian Oil Corporation, BPCL, HPCL are the well-known government companies. Small companies is defined under section 2 subsection 85 of the Companies Act 2013. A small company is a private company whose paid up capital does not exceed 50 lakhs or such higher amount as prescribed by the act, should not be more than 10 crores, or the turnover does not exceed 2 crores or such higher amount which as may be prescribed but does not exceed rupees 100 crores, while a private company may also include a small company. So there is a thin borderline between the difference between the small company and a private limited company, that depends upon the paid up capital and the turnover of that particular company. The well-known small companies are Thyrocare, who are into the business of doing the testing of the thyroid. CRISIL is also a company who gives the ratings to the company. Hawkins is also been declared as a small company, including Zydus Wellness Group. They are into the manufacturing of different types of products. They are been also declared as a small company. Foreign companies are those, as you are aware, as defined under section 2 subsection 42 of the Companies Act 2013, where they have registered themselves outside India, or they have the principal office or registered office outside India, and they have the place of business in India, whether by itself or through agents, physically or through electronic mode, and conducts any business activity in India in any such manner. The well-known foreign companies are ABB, Alstom, and the General Motors or the Toyota groups. The investment companies have been defined under section 186. Investment companies means a company whose principal business is the acquisition of shares, debentures, or other securities, and the company will be deemed to be principally engaged in the business of acquisition of shares, debentures, or other securities if it is asset in the form of investment. The well-known investment companies, so you are quite aware, are Morgan Stanley Wealth Management Company, PNB Paribas Wealth Management Company, including the Kotak Mahindra, who are into the business of also doing the financial or the investment related things. Coming to the last one, that is Unlimited Company, which is defined under section 2 subsection 92 of the Companies Act 2013, means a company not having any limit on the liability of the members and the shareholders and are fully liable to cover its debt. A company not having a limit on the liability of its member is termed as unlimited company. Here the members are liable for the company's debt in the proportion of their respective interest in the company, and that the liability is unlimited in case of winding up process. Such company may or may not have the share capital, and they may be either public company or a private company. The well-known unlimited companies which has been listed under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs are Sanghvi Group and the Yashica groups. So students, we understood in my earlier video as well as in this particular video which are the different types of companies. One is statutory companies, the chartered companies, and the registered companies. Under registered companies we have discussed 15 registered companies. So this is how the classification of the companies are been done as per Companies Act 2013. Thank you all.